Welcome back. So now let us do a very interesting theorem called sensitivity theorem, in which we are going to uh, we are going to uh, formalize the result that the Lagrangian multiplier contains the price information or partial derivative of the cost with respect to the change in the resource vector bi. So we are formalizing that result now here. Again, I am not going to prove this theorem, but let's take the problem that I want to minimize f of x over the same NEP problem basically. And we know that the x star is the optimal when x star is the optimal to what problem? Minimize f of x. So local minimum corresponding to minimize f of x subject to h of x equal to 0. Now I am going to parameterize the perturbation in the b right hand side vector by this u. So we are looking at the problems which are characterized by the parameter u, and because of that the so if you perturb this by u, the optimal will become x of u, and the Lagrangian multiplier should also change. So the new Lagrangian multipliers will be given by lambda of u. Now what the sensitivity theorem says is, for this problem, then there exists an open sphere, not closed sphere. So strictly less than is what mean by open sphere S, centered at u equal to 0. Why u equal to 0 it is centered? Because you are initially solved the problem h of x equal to 0 and got x star corresponding optimal corresponding to this. So therefore there exists an open sphere centered at u equal to 0, such that every u vector, the perturbation vector coming from this open sphere, there is x of u. So it's a some vector, like if x was 0, 3, 2 maybe, and then you gave some small perturbation delta u, then this may become like minus 0 0.01, 3.01, 2.5, for example, let's say. So there is an x of u in Rn, and corresponding Lagrangian multipliers lambda of u in Rn, which are local minimum Lagrangian multiplier pair of NEP. So local minimum Lagrangian multiplier pair means the Lagrangian multipliers which correspond to the local minimum. So this first thing is existence is there. It's not like you can only calculate it at h of x equal to 0 and lambda star is calculated, and then after that any small perturbation, nothing is going to happen. It's not a result like that. The result is very clear. It says this in within that perturbation, so long as it is restricted within the open sphere, x of u will exist, which is the new optimal, and lambda of u will be again parameterized in u, will be the new Lagrangian multipliers at the optimal. Furthermore, these are continuously differentiable within S. So that's a great result, is it not? Because they are now continuously differentiable within S. And obviously, if you calculate them at 0, x of u set to 0, x of 0 is x star, and lambda of 0 is lambda star. Further, let p of u, called a primal function, be the optimal cost parameterized by u. So that means p of u is f of x of u. So you first of all perturb the right hand side of the constraints to u. So the optimal change to x of u. So therefore the optimal cost change to f of x of u, and this is called as p of u. So so further let p of u be equal to this. This is called a primal. This p here stands for primal function. Then the gradient of the primal function, which is obviously with respect to u, is nothing but equal to the negative of the Lagrangian multiplier vector. This is a m cross 1 vector. This is also a m cross 1 vector, and this is just a negative of this. So this result is very interesting because what it tells is that the cost changes again in first order change of cost is nothing but given by the negative of these Lagrangian multipliers. But the thing is, if you change, you and now ask what whether the Lagrangian multipliers at lambda zeros, which is lambda star, will hold. No. Then now the new sensitivities corresponding to the new Lagrangian multipliers, which correspond to the optimal there. I'll illustrate it with a example. So this is problem, very first problem, example for problem 4.2.1, very first problem in the exercise of the Bhatt-Vikas. And the theorem is also taken from the book of Bhatt-Vikas Nonlinear Programming. And here, unlike the previous problem where the constraint was linear, our life was very simple. So the Lagrangian multipliers did not come in the Hessian matrix of the Lagrangian function. It's not like that here. Here our problem is maximize x1 plus x2 subject to x1 square plus x2 square equal to 2. So this problem in a sense is like this, that you want to maximize uh, the the perimeter of the rectangle which is inscribed in a square, in a circle. So so this represents a circle. This is the represents two times of it represents the perimeter of that inscribed in the circle. And consider this problem of maximization. Show that it has a global unique global minimum and a unique global maximum. So I am going to only work with the maximum problem. For minimum, you should also consider this minimum of this. That's the thing. Calculate the primal function. So I'll do only the maximum part of it, and then the other thing I will leave it to you for to calculate. Now calculate the primal function where corresponding to the maximum and very minimum, and verify the sensitivity theorem that we just discussed. So anyway, first answer I am not going to expand on it, but straight away that there is a unique global minimum and a global maximum directly corresponds to from the Weierstrass theorem. There is nothing more to say about it. Now we will solve that problem. So we are going to take the maximization problem, which case nothing but writing it again. First step is to write it as minimization problem, which is minimum of minus of x1 plus x2 subject to only one constraint, which is x1 square plus x2 square equal to 2. Now write the Lagrangian function. So the Lagrangian function becomes minus x1 minus x2 plus of lambda into x1 square plus x2 square minus of 2. Now set the gradient of this with Lagrangian function with respect to x to 0. So taking partial derivative with respect to x1, you will get minus of 1 plus of 2 lambda x1 to be equal to 0, and taking partial derivative with respect to x2, minus of 1 plus of 2 lambda times of x2 equal to 0. So this tells x1 star should be equal to 1 by 2 lambda star. This says x2 star should be equal to 1 of 2 lambda star. So we write x1 star equal to x2 star equal to 1 by 2 lambda star. Now substitute this in the equality constraint, x1 square plus x2 square equal to 2. So you get 2 divided by 4 lambda star equal to 2. So cancel out 2. Take this lambda star here. Take the square root and lambda star will become plus minus 1 by 2. Now we have to choose whether it should be taken as plus 1 by 2 or whether it should be taken as minus 1 by 2. And because uh, because of that, we can now come to the conclusion that x1 star and x2 star should be same. So you get 2x1 star equal to 2. I'm sorry, 2 x1 star square is equal to 2. So x1 star square becomes equal to 1. So x1 star becomes equal to either plus 1 or minus 1. So you should take plus 1 obviously, because then minimization will become minus 2. If you take minus of 1, then it will become other way around. It will create the maximization of this side, which is plus of 2. So therefore it is clear that you should take x1 square equal to x2 square equal to 1. Now let's write the Hessian of the Lagrangian function. So this is almost the other way around. Now here no contribution in the Hessian of the Lagrangian function is coming due to objective function, and the only second order information is there in the constraints, and so you get diagonal matrix 2 lambda star, another diagonal 2 lambda star, and no interaction terms here because there is no product term of x1 on x2. So now we wanted, if you recall, y transpose projected Hessian on this null space vector etc to be equal to greater than 0. So suppose you could just make this matrix positive definite, which is effectively choosing lambda star to be plus 1 by 2, then all such projected Hessians will also be positive definite. So therefore lambda equal to plus 1 by 2 seems to be a good choice. On the other hand, if you had taken lambda to be equal to minus 1 by 2, then the choice goes wrong because then the matrix becomes negative definite. So with choice of lambda star equal to 1 by 2, the second order sufficiency conditions are also satisfied, and you get the maximization of this problem at the Lagrangian multiplier half and 1 and x1 star x2 star to be equal to uh, 1. Now let's come to the sensitivity theorem part of it. So we are not proving, we are only verifying the sensitivity theorem. So our problem now is what? Considering the problem, perturbed problem is maximize x1 plus x2 subject to x1 square plus x2 square, and 2 is perturbed by a scalar u. So again you can write the write this side. Only thing will happen is this will become minus 2 minus of u. That's the only difference. Every other thing will turn out to be same. So x1 star x2 star will be still 1 by 2 lambda star, and x1 square plus x2 square will be equal to 2 plus u. So therefore substituting there, 2 by 4 lambda star square will become equal to 2 plus u, or in other words, if I cancel out 2 here, this can be written as 1 plus u by 2, and so lambda star should be plus minus of 1 by 2 under root of 1 plus u by 2. And with this, again the logic is same, why we should be taking only the positive sign so that the projected Hessian becomes positive definite, and with that x1 star of u, x2 of u is going to be equal to 1 by 2 lambda of u, and that can be take that. So this 2 and this 2 is going to cancel out, and so it will become equal to 1 plus square root of 1 plus u by 2. So now what is the p of u? The p of u is f of x of u, which is x1 of u plus x2 of u, which is nothing but x1 and x2 being same, and there is of course the minus sign sitting out because we had converted the maximize of x1 plus x2 problem to minimize of minus of x1 plus x2 problem. So therefore minus of x1 of u plus x2 of u, which is minus of 2 of under root of 1 plus u by 2. So now if you take the gradient of this, which is just taking the derivative of this with respect to 2, then it will be minus 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by under root of 1 plus u by 2 into 1 by 2. So 2 cancels out. You'll get minus of this into 1 by 2, but then that is nothing but the opposite of the Lagrangian multiplier, which we have calculated here with the positive sign, and hence the sensitivity theorem is verified. So now you see, interestingly, as you keep increasing u, the sensitivity will keep reducing. While sensitivity keep reducing, it is intuitive because the objective function value will be increasing. Still, you just do a small unit change here. For example, the if the initial objective function is 10 and you got a small change of, let's say, 1 in the objective function due to change in the right hand side, then what is sensitivity? 1 by 10. Suppose you got the same change 1 when you already had made the u a much larger number, then that same change 1 will be divided by, let's say, 25, which will make the sensitivity 1 by 25. So this u coming here in the denominator in inverse proportion to x indicates that the Lagrangian multipliers keep on decreasing as the u keep on increasing. I think we have we now have got enough handle on importance of Lagrangian multipliers, and that they contain some kind of price information or the sensitivity information, and that the the primal function is a continuous function, and the corresponding x and lambda vectors are also functions of u, which are also differentiable functions, and that the gradient of the primal function is nothing but the negative of the Lagrangian multipliers. I think this is the point where we will stop studying the NEP problem. Next time we will take NIP problem. Thank you.